In the last episode, we were talking to Lou, and we were talking about her counselling practice. In this one, we're going to talk about the perspectives of change. One of the things that Lou does is she tries to introduce and explain what change looks like to people, and she helps them to understand it in different ways. And do you want to tell us a wee bit about how you help people understand the process of change? Because it's not, now everything is black, now it's white. Everything is dark, now it's light. It doesn't happen like that, does it?
No. And I'm going to do two videos, and this one, they're both kind of about important things about how change happens. And I think the first important thing to understand about change is that it's more a city journey than a country journey. And I will explain what I mean by that.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay. Now, in our country, if we go out and we're heading for something like Scotland, if we're heading, for the Highlands, it's really clear when we're on the road where we're going to. You can look around and the hills and everything. They say, we are arriving at Scotland, we are coming to the beauty of Scotland. If we go down to Cornwall, there's a point where it's really clear we're heading to the coast. We get out and we see the sea all around us, to take our bearings from what we see is really normal. Okay. In the journey of change, it is much more like a city journey. It's really important, if you're listening to this, that you really ponder what I'm saying, because if you understand it's a city journey, your expectations will be really different. Okay. Now, we now live by the sea and we absolutely love it, but we came from the city, didn't we? Okay, so we go back to the city. These are some of the dynamics of driving in the city. The first thing is what we're seeing at any given point isn't necessarily where we're going. Okay. So, for example, we go by the police station and we see the police station, but that's not where we're going. And then we turn left and suddenly we're seeing something completely different. And that's normal in a city journey. So when I see the police station, I don't panic and think, oh my God, there's a police station, because I know we're turning left. We know where we're going, So then we might go through a park.
Okay.
And it might be really, really pretty, but then we might turn left. And then we're heading for a school. And so there's all the time we're moving to our destination, we're seeing something different. Okay. But we don't take our reality from what we see.
No.
We understand that the journey of change is twisting and turning. All right.
Okay, so basically, if you're going in the country, particularly Scotland, because the roads tend to be straight and there don't tend to be an awful lot of them. If you're heading west, that's where you're going, you're heading west. But if you go into a city and you're going from here over to there, which may be west, sometimes you're going south, sometimes you're going north, sometimes, is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And what's in front of you is not, as you say, where you're headed. And sometimes it doesn't really give you much of a clue where you're headed.
Absolutely. Now, when we go into the city, let's talk about London, because actually when we go to London, we don't know quite where we're headed, all right? And we'll talk about sat-nav in a minute. Okay, so if we have a London journey. So we twist and we turn. Some of the stuff we see is quite interesting. Some of it's really boring. Some of it's quite ugly. And we'll look around, but we're not panicking when we see the ugly. Because we know where we're going, and actually what we're seeing is just what we're seeing on the journey. Okay. So that's really important. So if your expectation is that this journey is going to be a bit twisty and turny, so you might have a really ghastly day, but actually in a week's time, you might go through you apply something bottled up, you actually find yourself in a park. So keep telling yourself, what I'm seeing at the moment is not my goal and my destination, okay? And don't panic. So I don't panic if I see the police and the school and the thing.
So it's part of the process.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because I did a workout yesterday. And I can hardly move today, My goal is to get fit, and I seem to be incredibly unfit today. But that's part of the process.
Absolutely, that's a lovely example of kind of,
because my muscles need to be built up.
And there's some other things you can tease out of that picture. For a start, a city journey, you will get a lot more congestion.
Yeah.
You know, we'll sit in traffic if we go into the city. We won't enjoy it, but we won't panic because of it.
Yeah.
You know, so again, on the journey of change, you will have times when you just feel you're doing an inch at a time, an inch at a time, and an inch at a time.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you understand the journey,
Yeah.
you know, you won't like it, but you won't panic in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we accept the congestion.
Yeah. Yeah.
We accept the fact that we might get a bit lost
Yeah.
for a while and have to find our way back. And we accept the fact that there are lots of roundabouts. So you are going to feel as if you're going round in a circle. And, you know, sometimes in a roundabout, you'll take the last exit and it looks like you're going back on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you've got good sat-nav,
Yeah.
which we'll go on to that,
Yeah.
and you know where you're going,
Yeah.
none of these things faze you.
Yeah.
All right, because you're not taking your reality from the scenery on the journey.
So part of your job is to prepare people for that.
Yes.
I mean, little example. As you know, I lived in Scotland. I lived in Kilcreggan. I lived in this peninsula, and I used to type into Google, "Where is my nearest whatever?" And very often it would say it's a mile away, and I go, "No, it's not. It's because I live in a peninsula. They're going straight across the estuary, but I've got to do a 20-mile round trip to go round the estuary, and they didn't take that into. So I can see it, but I can't actually get there until I go all the way around. Is that
they're all parts of the same kind of picture that you can work with. And I want to go on now to map reading and sat nav. Okay. It can get really stressful if you're trying to read the map yourself. You know, if we were going around London and I've got the map, it can get really stressful, isn't it? And I mean, you're very kind, actually. My first husband used to be terrible. If we go wrong, you know, you don't get cross with me. You just say, oh, so it's going to be all right, you know. And I think that people that come to us are trying to read a map in the middle of this terrible journey with the drinker, okay?
Yeah.
But sat-nav has kind of changed all that. So you've got this nice little thing that's saying, when you go here, you go left, you know. And,
Turn left, turn right.
Yeah. I know sometimes it kind of gets it wrong. So in a way, something like Bottled Up can be your sat-nav.
Yes, that's a very good way of putting it.
Yeah, and can help you say, well, you know. So we would encourage you to kind of do that and to let us be your sat-nav. Take the anxiety out of the journey because we give you lots and lots of pointers and directions as to how to get to your destination. The final thing I would say, though, and I think this is really, we talk about a pragmatic approach. There are different ways to get to a destination.
Yeah.
You know, there isn't just one way. You can take the scenic route, you can take a route that's got more traffic but could be quicker, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what we say to you, you know, we'll give you help on your route, but we don't come saying there's only one way to get to here.
No, and I think that is rather important, you know, the solutions that you come up with actually are a product of the person themselves. Because there's no point in giving somebody a solution that there's no way that they can actually implement it.
No.
You know, that's just stupid. But sometimes that's what people do. They say, "Oh, you need to do it this way. You need to do it that way." Why? Because I did it that way, and that's just daft.
And the final thing to tease out of it, really, if you're in a city journey by yourself, nobody with you with the map, it can be absolutely ghastly.
That is a good. Sorry, excuse me. That's actually a very good picture because I've gone round cities. I remember the first time I got down to Exeter, and I was just lost.
Yeah. Oh, you just used to go regularly to get lost, didn't you?
Yeah, I kept landing up somewhere else entirely. And thinking, but there was nobody there to say turn right or turn left. So I just kept going.
So if you're in the city journey of change, it's really quite important that you've got someone. Again, we are here. We can be a sat-nav for you, but actually have a companion on your journey. Don't do it by yourself. It makes it 100 times more stressful.
Yeah.
So there's just a very
I think that's a
picture.
very good way of putting it. You can come say, well, I know I've got to turn right, but do I turn right in 10 yards or do I turn right in 10 miles? And that's what Bottled Up does. It says, these are the steps that you take. This is the process. This is what you go through. This is what you do first, then second. And, you know,
And we are
that is
guides on your journey because we've done the journey so many times. I mean, you know, I would take him to where he's going without even thinking. Because I've done it loads and loads of times. So again, we're here, we are your guides. We know our way around this city. We've been around it with people over and over again. So again, the counsellor is there, we are there to help you on this journey. But understand it, tell yourself that it's like that so that you actually reduce expectation and you reduce anxiety by saying to yourself, this is the journey of change. This is what we expect. I don't have to panic. Because I'm seeing something ghastly up ahead, you know, that can change on our destination. And of course, the place we're all heading to is the palace of well-being, loving relationships, sobriety. This is kind of where we're heading, isn't it? Okay, so I hope that's helpful. I'll see you again.
I think it's a good picture. I think it's a good image to sort of, you know, because sometimes we come at changes in a very simplistic way.
Absolutely.
And it's not a simple process. Okay.
Thank you for listening.
And in the next one, we'll look at a different perspective on change.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.